we will talk about today the interview experience with Infosys at a level of a power programmer, which is now a specialist programmer, uh, whose salary is about 9.5, and for DSE is like 6.25. So we cover whatever question they have asked and how can you prepare for that. So we will talk about and that make you very clear. So I will start with the power programmer. So I gave the exam at in 28 January, and my one code ran and 100% and one was 90%, and I get the call of shortlisting as a specialist programmer interview for at 1st of March. And 1st of March, and they showed that you are shortlisted for the specialist programmer. And after that he said that whenever your interview is scheduled, before your 48 hours you will get the link and the scheduled thing. And my interview was held at Microsoft Teams. So my request is that whenever the platform is given to you, you should go to that platform, install the platform, use before it, and check your mic connection and the audio connections. So I will prefer you what to do is use the uh, headphone, that will be very clear, headphone jack or Bluetooth, that will clear. And the mic must be of your laptop. So when you gonna join, you will get the option. So choose the mic of the laptop, that made you very clear. And if you don't able to do that, so what will happen that when you start the interview and your voice is not getting to themselves, then you're gonna panic and you will start hesitating. So don't do that. So yeah, we're gonna start with the power program interview. So first he came visit and say, how was your day? So I say it was good. And he start to say that give you a brief introduction. So I said whatever I have to say. So he said, Vijay, we will go with the interview questions, yeah, sorry, with the coding question. So I said yes. So I get the idea of the question is that question was given was pretty easy. And question is like that, we have given a number, like a number, and we have to uh, delete the digits of that number. So that given that we have to delete 2 or 3, it will be given, and we have to minimize that thing. Okay, like we have given like 1 2, so 1 2 3, yeah, 4. So we have to delete 2 numbers, so that this could be minimum. So I think 2 number would be 4, and 3 you delete, it become 12. That's the minimum you get from deleting 2 on the combination of both. And I was thinking the approach, and he said he also said the approach of stack. And he also asked me what you are thinking, what is your approach, give me the brute force. And I came up with the approach simultaneously, he also giving the hint. So I started with the approach, done the code, but it does not run. First time it got a runtime error, I solved it, but the logic was very good, very clear, but the I failed to code that. So he also hint me where I got wrong, which was I checked after the interview. But at that time I was not able to recognize that, and that's happened. So he said me just to send the code to him in the chat section, and he said he give me another question. It was just like a matrix. Okay, it was like a matrix, and there was a black white spot, and positions are given like a1 h1, like this is a, this is b, this is c, and this is d, and this is 1 2 3 4. Somewhere black and somewhere it's like a chess. And you have given the index like 4a, 4b, and like that. And you have to say that the spot is what, black or blue. I just so black or white. So I just give the approach, and he said to code and send me in the chat section. So I just run it, and the outputs were correct. He gave its manual input, 2 or 3 manual input, and just clear. And then he said that we are now get late and we have to start the CS fundamental. I will tell you that don't panic about the coding. If your code is not get done, don't panic. Just give the approach. Uh, just don't get blank out there. If you don't able to code, just give the approach. What are you thinking? What are you doing? And CS fundamental is more important than the coding. For DSE and for Power Programmer, you have to run one code. Like okay, so now I have introduced with that my favorite subjects are CS fundamentals, OOPS, and DSA. So he started with OS. So he asked me what are threads, and he asked me, just note it down, it will help you. He asked me in OS, he asked me threads, threads, uh, threads. Then he asked me interprocess communication. So that is very important. You have to do that. Okay, interprocess communication. And then he asked me lot of oops question and Java question. Oops question was like what is runtime polymorphism. He just asked that. I give him the clear answer, and then he asked me what is abstraction, what is the difference between abstract class and interfaces, uh, when to use a static, what is static and when to use static. He asked me that. And in Java question he asked me how to create threads. So I said that we have two ways to create threads. Is that we can implement the runnable interface or just extend the thread class. So I said good. And a lot of Java question I'm not able to recall right now, but it was very standard problems, very like standard questions. You can get it to the Java T point and other. And then he get deep into DBMS, like what the difference between drop and truncate, and then he goes to the SQL queries like second highest salary, fourth highest salary. And he asked me like what is serialization. He asked me that. And uh, like he also asked me one question from the compiler design, that uh, phases of compiler designs. He also asked me one system design question which I don't know, and he also said that you are a fresher, so not a problem. He also asked me that what framework you know. So I said I have not like get exposure of any of them. So he said okay, not a problem, that if you are good enough in one, then it is not a problem, you will get easily any of it. And lot of question from Java and oops, I'm not able to recall right now. uh, and he also asked me about one of my major project what I have done. So I said that on final year project. He also asked me one question in C, that what is difference between union and struct. Okay, I in Java more questions are asked. One was static, one was about threads. Yes, he also asked me about what Java you are using. I said Java 8. So he said what collection you know. I said not that much. He asked me like what is linked hash map. He also asked me what is hash map. These two questions. What is hash map data structure. So you can ask that. You can say that synchronized and non-synchronized, whatever key value pairs. And he also asked me that null values. Null values can be the key of hatch map or not, and this is a very important question. You can go and just check it out. Okay, then he asked me a lot of HR question there, that how much you will dedicate it to the company, and like what are your 5-year goals, and do you have offer in hand. And also ask me about what are your expectations, and he don't ask me about the location, and that's how it went. That I will say that is two coding questions, and moreover the DBMS uh, one system design. I would not consider that because if you don't know, you just skip the thing. So don't worry about it. Two coding question, a DB, lot of DBMS question, lot of oops question. Oops question because in my case because I have said that this is my strong topics. So oops Java, and C, one question from C, and one compiler design question was also there, and lot of HR question, and he was very satisfied with my HR questions answers. And also he said that your Java is very good, keep up the good work, but he also said in the last that you have to improve your little problem solving approach. And he also asked me that how much you do the DP, like DP and trees and graph. So I said I do a lot of I have done a lot of trees, graphs, but less DP. Then he asked me about if you know trees, then what are DFS and BFS. What is DFS? So I said that for searching the desired element we go into the depth. So he was satisfied when you get to know that you know, he just keep the thing, don't go deep into that, and you don't want to tell that how. And he also asked me that what were the question you get into the first round, and how was your approach. I said that in not in detail but overview, and he was satisfied with that, and overall was good. So I will not say that the coding was that much important because he asked a lot of CS fundamental questions. So I will say with that you are confident upon you should be confident about giving the approach, then try to improve the. And what are you thinking, just say it to him. What are you thinking, he will give the hint also. And one type of more questions my friends will get, like system design URL shortener. So you should be get, or a library management or airline system management. So you should be clear about the DBMS and little bit of system design, not that much. And this was there. And if the person was aged, he will definitely ask you a lot of English question, lot of English question also, like DBMS questions and HR questions. And if a young one, then he will put you to coding question. And if you don't want to take that much serious, he will give you one question and just wait for you. And if you do that, and if you done that, after that he just ask you just formality for the questions, and you get selected. So I think now the result is not came, but the person was very satisfied, uh, but just I messed up in the code. So that was the thing. And I would not say to panic you, because if you are average student, you get the DSE, you will not get the SE. So you get the DSE, which was 6.25, which is also very good. You want to get to the PP, just be very careful about giving the brute force. The optimal was very good, just give the brute force also, that you know the thing, your approach is good. Just then try to improve and go with this very clear about DBMS question was will be there. And you if you do DBMS question, then it is also very clear about the system design question. Go with the OS CN. If the person is aged, he will definitely ask you this computer network questions. And in case of mine, I was very lucky that CN question was not asked, only for DBMS and OSN, Java and Oops. So make things very clear, and clear with your one project, why you do that, with whom you will do that, what they are doing currently now, if they are doing interns, and what be very clear with it. And be very clear that when they ask why you want to join, then be very clear about the company, what your offer you get, and ask the relevant question with him. So what you have to prepare, system design, you just prepare like tiny URL shortener and library management and airline system. These three questions I have seen in system design question. Be clear with the code. DP, they ask a lot of DP. I've seen others. In my case it was not, it was just a traversal I will say, but it was a moderate to hard level question, uh, like moderate level question. And second was very easy. You have to just recognize the indexes, and if your matrix is strong, you would have done that. Yes, okay. And that was it. And if you have any doubt, you can just comment it out. Okay, I will help you out. So for my opinion, DSC, and I was make very clear about DSC and PP or SP. I have not tell you this about the SE because SE was very easy. I would say they ask continue break and like this, very easy questions. So that was it. And be very clear with CS fundamental coding and uh, system design and your projects. These four topics gonna uh, your review around, and very clear with your HR question, because it is more about ethics also. At the end, if you are intelligent and you are not going to join, they are investing a lot of time to recruit you. The online resource their portions, and you are not going to join, and one seat get vacant, so they don't want it. Be very clear to join it. And after the result came, I will declare it, tell to you. So hope you like it, and see you in next.